Welcome to the WordPress Photography Podcast, the podcast for photographers who want to learn how to get the most out of WordPress to grow their photography business. You don't need to be a geek to understand WordPress. Settle back and listen as we show you how. Now, here's your host, Scott Wyden-Kivowitz.
Welcome to another snap episode of the WordPress Photography Podcast. In this episode, I want to show you 29 useful WordPress shortcuts. And this is an infographic that I found on Pinterest, but I wanted to show you some of really my favorites that I wind up using on a regular basis when I'm creating new pages or creating new blog content. But if you're watching the video of this episode, you will see that there, I'm actually going to display and scroll through this infographic so you can see all the different commands. You will actually see that many of them actually just match Microsoft Word and Google Docs. And so if you're on a Mac, you could do Command B for bold or Command I for italic, or if you're on Windows, Alt Shift B and Alt Shift I. And there's also, the copy and undo, like Command Z or Alt Shift Z, and things like that. So there's those common word processor style shortcuts that you can do, the keyboard shortcuts that you can do on your WordPress in the editor, in any of the editors, like the visual, the text editor on a post or a page. And there's also something else. So you can do spell checks. You can jump right to spell check, or you can actually quickly insert a link very easily. So I'm going to show you real quick my favorite. So if you're watching the video, then you actually see me do this. My favorite when I'm inserting a link is I will actually write, let's say, this is a link, and then I will highlight the word and hit on a Mac, Command K, and it actually brings up the page or post search feature. So I can search for home, and if there was a page called home, it'll just quickly show up there, but there's not. So I know that there's a new instance, so there's going to be a sample page. So I'll type in sample page, and I can just click that, and I can apply, and now that text is linked to the page. Very quick. So it's, on a Mac, again, Command K, and I just search for sample page, and then I just select the page that shows up in the search result and hit apply. Now I can also hit the link options. It'll bring up the actual insert link editor dialog, and I can actually open that in a new tab if I want, and done. So there are a lot of keyboard shortcuts. A lot of them are just common based on word processor style shortcuts that you're used to as a computer user for both Windows and Mac. And some of them are specific to WordPress. This link one is actually not specific to WordPress. It is actually one that is common within things like forums. So if you're using a forum for something and you highlighted a word and you did Command K, it'll do the same thing. It'll actually bring up the link dialog. So, there's a lot of different things that are common, and some of them which are not common. But I'm gonna link to the infographic if I can find that again on Pinterest, because I don't know. I was on my mobile phone when I found it originally, and I'll have to see if I can find it again. But if I can find it, I will link to it so you can actually see the infographic. Otherwise, I will find a blog post that has all the keyboard shortcuts in it, so that you can easily start implementing that in your blogging and page workflow.
You've been listening to the WordPress Photography Podcast. To listen to other episodes and to subscribe to the podcast via iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and more, please visit imagely.com/podcast.